What is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen here, your internal strength coach, here to show you how to overcome your greatest challenges so you can shine your brightest light. I'm in my meditation room tonight. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll actually show it to you. I was compelled to actually stay in and do it in here tonight, and I'll tell you why. So the topic that I wanted to actually talk about today with you guys is about day-to-day schedule, or planning and implementing the plan into a day-to-day schedule. So we talked about manifesting briefly. We've talked about how do you want your life to look, but didn't really go into more of the nuts and bolts of actually planning and implementing the stuff that you want to see happen in your life. So I just came up with like a few different ways that you can implement plan and implement stuff in your day to day. So the first one, really interesting book, especially if you guys are more on the science side of things. There's actually this neat book called The Power of When, and it is all about how people have different chronotypes. I believe they're named after animals. It's dolphin, lion, bear, and wolf. Okay, so it basically is identifying not only are you more of a morning person, a night person, are you somewhere in the middle, but based on like this assessment that you take, it can even identify what's your ideal bedtime, what's your ideal rise time, when's the best time to read, when's the best time to plan your day, when's the best time to do like your most like critical work, when's the best time to have sex, when's the best time to eat, coffee, all that stuff. So like if you're looking for more of like a science-based like recommendations, I would highly suggest checking that book out. Another one is there's a bunch of different names for it, but one of the ways I've heard it called is a power list, and that's basically where you you've identified what you want in your life. So now it's saying, okay, what are the 5 to 7 critical tasks that I actually need to do today in order to get to that goal, in order to make that shit happen. So the idea with the power list is that you do the stuff as early as possible during your day before things like decision fatigue and just fatigue in general take over. So you get to that stuff, and once it's done, you're done. You can go about and do whatever stuff you want to do with the rest of your day, as long as it's not like going against your goals. So the idea too is that you're only doing 5 to 7 things. That way you're not trying to do 20 things a day, which inevitably is going to result in burnout or not even feeling successful, because you're probably not going to get 20 things done consistently on a day-to-day basis. But you will probably get 5 to 7 things done a day on a consistent basis, and that's what you do. You're basically just stacking momentum, wins on top of wins. Conversely, or similarly, I guess, is also something I've heard called a fuck you list, which is actually a list of things that that you really, really do not want to do. Like you're just, I really don't want to do these things. I'm dreading doing them. I'm putting them off. And so you write those items and you actually put them on a fuck you list. And the realization is that, it's actually kind of lingering over your head. The longer you let them sit on that list, it's like, you need to take care of it. So just fucking do it. So it kind of creates a little bit of a feeling of accomplishment when you're able to actually check that off your list. So that's another thing you can do. Also, if you're somebody who is actually pretty in touch with their intuition, and you have done the manifestation process, you can just be someone that's like, I set the intent, I did the manifesting, now I'm kind of going to just wait to be guided towards whatever those action steps are. I'm just going to wait and see kind of like what shows up and what messages I get. Now you've got to I feel like you need to be kind of advanced for that. If your intuition is telling you to eat donut holes and watch Game of Thrones, it's broken. I don't think your intuition's working. It's not working yet. That's more just that's more just like your indulgences. So, and then a fourth method is you can just sit around and hope that things magically will happen in your life, but this one fails 100% of the time, so I don't recommend it. All jokes aside, the other method that I wanted to discuss with you guys is actually one that was shared with me today. Maybe you guys have seen it before. I visited with a coach today, believe it or not. Coaches still have coaches. Like, we don't, we're not so high and mighty that we think that we know everything. Like, we still need to be guided as well. So I met with this coach, and he shared with me just this 135 rule or 135 method. And the way that he pitched it was, start off, you've identified, what it is that you really want in your life. Then you're breaking it down from there into what are the big three things that need to happen in order to get you there. And then you break those three things down each into 5 smaller actionable steps. So preferably SMART goals, specific, measurable. I think it can measure accuracy, it's relative, and then you also have T is for time, so setting a deadline on when you're actually going to do those items. That's something that I'm going to be trying, so you guys can try it with me if you would like. So, just a quick note on like bad habits. So, I mean, this stuff is all designed to like keep you on point, to get the fucking slop out of your life so that you have a plan and stick to it, but still it can become difficult. I won't spend too much time talking about habits because that's a whole nother subject. Somebody did ask me about that the other day, but my advice is in its most simplistic form is to, habits are habits because they're unconscious most of the time. It's learning to become aware. It's learning to notice what are the precursors to when you're about to commit